Good evening. We're going to go ahead and call this meeting to order. Dr. Thomason, roll call.
President Reese, members of the board, please let the record show we have 4 board members here tonight. Mr. Witovich will be running late as this is the first day for the community college to start work.
Thank you. We're going to go ahead and have a moment of silence followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. All right, we will go on to the agenda. I move that we approve the agenda as it is presented.
Second.
Any questions or comments about the agenda? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 That motion carries 4-0. Dr. Thomason, the superintendent's report.
Yeah. Oh, this different spot. Okay, I got it. So, President Reese, members of the board, we do have our first holiday coming up. So there was no school on Monday, September 2nd for the recognition of Labor Day. On Wednesday, September 11th, we do have our governing board meeting at 5:30. And then on Friday, September 13th, we have the superintendent's visit at Gateway Point Elementary School, and all the board is invited to that, and that is from 9 to 11 a.m. in the morning. And then on Wednesday, September 25th, we have our next work study at 5:30 p.m. here at the governing board room. Also a reminder that football starts this week, and so Friday night we have a Williamsfield game with a visiting team from California, and then on Saturday we have the recognition of the new football fields at Higley High School with a away team from California to come here to play us also.
President Reese, I just have to kind of piggyback on that, Dr. Thomason, that my high school used to play the high school that's visiting Higley High this weekend. So I thought that was awesome.
Very nice. Lots coming up. All right, we'll go on to board comments.
Mrs. Reese.
Mrs. Wilson.
Of course. We got to visit Cooley this week, and we got to see the preschoolers, and it's so awesome to see just their smiles and their excitement to learn. And it was just so fun they all made us all little crafts and sang songs for us, and just thank you to the staff over there and being so welcoming. We also got to visit the middle school on our tour, and we got to see the cows in action and a lot of the technology in place. And I think Mrs. Reese, the other Mrs. Reese, took some video of that for the board members to see, and to see that technology in place that we've all kind of questioned how it was being used. And we got to ask the students how they were feeling about the iPad switch and all that. And it was just awesome to see all that. And just the excitement in the middle school. Mrs. Foley and I got to experience passing period together, as she mentioned, and that was enlightening, I think, for her to see the craziness of that. And it's very fun. And also, Mrs. Kaler and I and Dr. Thomason got to visit the HTAP building today and got to see all those students and all the amazing work they're doing over there. So it's been a busy couple days, but it has been awesome to see what we're doing in Higley. Thank you.
Any other board comments? Okay. We will go on to our request to speak to the governing board. We value input from our constituents. This time has been set aside for anyone from the audience who wishes to address the board. Please remember that this is not an appropriate venue to evaluate, discuss, or criticize district personnel. Policy KEB provides a process for complaints about personnel. Speakers should be aware that false statements about individuals may result in civil liability. Members of the board may not discuss items that are not specifically identified on the agenda. Therefore, pursuant to ARS 38-431.01H, action is taken as a result of public comment will be limited to directing the staff to study the matter, responding to any criticism, or scheduling the matter for further consideration and decision at a later date. We ask that you please limit your remarks to 3 minutes, and we have Mr. Gusak.
Board President, fellow board members, Superintendent Thomason, all Higley staff, parents, taxpayers, and last but not least, students. My name is Joe Gusak. I'm the lovable, slightly annoying American. I'm the educational RX. And when necessary, an orange honey badger. Just like the honey badger, I'll go out and hang out with a cobra. I'll go hang out with the devil. I'll go hang out with God. What I expect out of each and every one of them is to do the right thing each and every single time. Now I'll read a quote to you. May we think of freedom not as the right to do as we please, but as the opportunity to do what is right. Each and every year, I'm committed and recommit. As I sent you that email, I sent it to all 92 of them. And he actually got an extra one because there was a conversation between the Department of Education asking about, oh, sure, we'll promote this if the school districts have good stories. Well, this is the first time I've come to you and asked you about it. The other 4 times, I left it up to our state elected officials. And let's just say they didn't carry the ball. They didn't. And I'll remind them again, and I'll remind them again. And oh, by the way, in a couple weeks, I'll tell them how many days till Education First Day on Saturday, August 1st, 2020. The 5th time it's happened. But here's the opportunity for you. There are people in this state that want to divide you. They want to divide you. They want to divide districts and charters, private schools, ESAs, homeschoolers. Why? Simple. When they divide you, you fall. When I hear about a school board member, they're a school board member. I don't ask which district they serve, or charter or private. You're a board member. Superintendent, same thing. Teacher, same thing. At the end of the day, I'm going to educate the state on the things that need to be educated on. I will make some things that will rile people up from time to time. The 4th time, last time was the 4th time that we had a major retraction in our education funding. And oh, by the way, if it happens a 5th time, let me say something to all of you very clearly. I will educate the children how to put forward a class action suit against the state of Arizona. Children have done this before. And I will dig into everybody's pocket if they win. And people will hate me for that. Oh, they will hate me, hate me, hate me. But I will remind them very clearly that that money should have never been in your pocket in the first place if we did the right thing. So once again, I'll end with this. May we think of freedom not as the right to do as we please, but as the opportunity to do what is right. I will continue to do what is right to ensure that you get what you need. Last thing, and I know I'm going to run out of just a little bit of time. I've been working and encouraging the LD12 re-elected officials to provide you one email to one of their things every single year so that when you have an issue, that you can send it in and that you have a direct line to them. That is what I'm working for. I'm not asking you to appreciate it. I'm not asking you to ever shake my hand or consider me a friend. But what I will do is continue to advocate for what is right. Thank you. Sorry for going long. Last year I only came once. Maybe I'll only come once again.
All right, we have no other requests to speak, so we will go on to our consent agenda. And I move that we approve the consent agenda as it is presented.
Second.
Questions or comments regarding consent?
Dr. Thomason, I just have a quick little, just clarification, and I know Christina and I talked about this a little bit, but when I added up the field trips for our Higley High School thespians, we're talking $40,000 for the year for our kiddos, and I just want to make sure that we are, all these kids are having the opportunity to go, and I know it's just a lot of money for a year, so any comments, I'd greatly appreciate your thoughts.
Yep. President Reese, members of the board, we did look at that. We're going through a field trip committee right now, and we're hoping to roll out some new field trip out-of-state and overnight rules and programs. And I can tell you at this time, we have looked at those numbers. We have talked about the need for all students that want to be included to be included. So anybody who wants to be involved in those programs would be offered the opportunity, and they'll be doing fundraising and doing different fundraiser events and local charity events to raise the funds so everybody would have the opportunity to be included in that aspect.
And then I just have a quick question. I don't know why my mic sounds so weird. No, it's okay. Yeah, it keeps echoing. I just wanted to mention to Ms. Martins, I noticed that we continuously see the middle school and high school choir, band, drama teachers, all these ones who do performances. In the evenings, we have stipends for them. I would like that perhaps we look at doing something within their contract or at least taking a look at that. I know the students are graded to attend those, and if they don't attend them, they have to do supplemental assignments. I'm not saying they shouldn't be paid more than something else because they are expected to do these, but I see it as part of their duties, so I don't know if stipends are the way to go. So I would like that we look at that and see what the appropriate way to handle those are.
Good evening, President Reese, members of the board. We certainly can. I think you raise some good questions and something that I haven't delved into since my arrival here. But when you look at the middle school and the high school and see that they receive those, but music teachers and other teachers at the elementary level don't, and they're expected to put on some performances, it does raise a good question. So we'll take a look at that and then follow back up through Dr. Thomason, whether it's in a board report or some other work study in the future.
Any other questions or comments regarding consent? Great, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That motion carries 4-0. All right, on 8.1, we have our governing board monthly fiscal year 19 and fiscal year 20 financial reports for July of 2019. I know Mr. Holland isn't here. That group does such a great job putting these reports together. If anyone has any questions, we can ask them and we can get follow-ups. Okay. And then we will go on to future agenda items. We do have our future agenda items listed.
Mrs. Reese,
Mrs. Wilson.
I was just wondering if we could have, just for a later date, definitely does not have to be soon, a technology update for our strategic plan. I know we talked about possibly doing something back when I first arrived on the board to bring that back around to us, and I was just hoping we could get that calendared for a future date. Thank you.
President Reese, may I just piggyback? Dr. Thompson and I were talking about something very similar, and I think you were going to share with us, perhaps in the next superintendent's report, at least a sheet that will show these schools have recently received this, these schools will receive this next year, and I think that will also help us. I'm in agreement with you but something should be coming more close. Okay. You want to add, Ken?
President Reese, members of the board, I did talk with Mr. Glover earlier this week, and so in this week's superintendent's report, we do have a 6-year IT refresh plan, and then the budget along with that would be included in Friday's superintendent's report. And for any members of the audience or community that would like a copy of that too, we can make that available to you.
Perfect. And if we feel you need more information after that, then we can look at getting that added. All right. At this time, we are going to convene in the back of the room for our work study. Is that correct? We're doing our work study in there. Yep. So we're going to reconvene in the back of the room for our work study.